Right, off to Motorcycle Live 2018 at the NEC. Bit of a long ride ahead of me. It's a bit of a cold morning. Big gloves are on. Catch you on the other side.
RevelatorAlf.
Right, and away I go to Motorcycle Live 2018 at the NEC. Right, best I pop in and get some motion lotion. Right, made it to the bike park, now heading off to the show. Right, up to the show I go. Crikey, it's like being at an airport. Would you believe I'm still walking? I'm here, just at the entrance, just about to go in, and deciding whether should I go for a coffee first or go in. I'll go for a quick wander around first. Well, I literally just walked into the arena, one of the halls here, and immediately come in with some smaller bike manufacturers. They're looking pretty good, I gotta say. Look, 50cc Enduro, Reju bikes. These are looking pretty snazzy too. Yeah, Fantic were always a good brand actually. Always great bikes, off-road bikes. Just to keep your bike nice and warm and dry. Vehicle dome. Yeah, so big feature at this motorcycle show, and actually all future motorcycle shows is going to be the continuing development and improvement of electric motorcycles. So here we're just at zero per motorcycles. What I really wanted to see was actually this off-roader. Now I know the police have tested this as well, and this is really good. Got a 5-year battery, 5-year guarantee on the battery as well, and that'll pretty much go anywhere. And I think, you know, once they start improving the range and the durability of these things, I think, this is where, well, obviously this is where the future is, isn't it? And they've got it all muddy and everything, so it's really good. I do like me a bit of Crazy Horse. Saw them a couple of years ago. Some great designs, some fantastic work that they do as well. Always a good little stand as well. It's always colourful. It's just got that cool factor about it. And here, in the sort of scrambler mode, scramblers have been very popular the last couple of years. And this Caballero bikes, yeah, that 250 scrambler actually looks pretty sweet. I must say, really nice. Interesting, a couple of years ago, Indian were just a tiny little stand here. Then, and Victory was a much bigger stand. Then they closed down Victory and just put all their efforts into Indian. And now look at it, it's a really big stand, and they've got all their models on display too. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, the Indian Scout, nice, look at that. Yeah, definitely Indian are really going to put a serious challenge onto Harley, I think, in terms of style, at least, on some of their bikes. Some of the other bikes are pretty awful. But if you want the big bagger range, the Indians, that are really good for that, but actually this kind of getting back to their roots, a bit of the flat tracker style, that's really good as well. It's one of those things, isn't it, with Indian? You know the name, you know the brand, and they're definitely coming back. And they got some fantastic designs up there. Really nice.
You're sucking on the number 10. I miss the crush and I'm home.
Yeah, Benelli, always been a great bike. Produced some really good speed bikes, race bikes, and well, road sports bikes. And now, in the sort of adventure market as well. Looks nice. Looks nice. Yeah, some mid-range bikes, looking good. Can't beat a bit of vintage Matisse. Very nice, look at that. Early impressions of the show, really good. It flows really nicely, and they're mixing a lot of the smaller bikes, smaller manufacturers in with the bigger ones as well. And they're not cramped in everywhere. There's lots of space, for the smaller stands, just to occupy more space. It's really good. Can-Am. Oh, Now as you come over to the Honda stand, you see one of the biggest stands in the show. Got all their bikes on display, all the race bikes as well, all the way through the range. But look, you got a Fireblade SP2 here at 22 grand. 22 grand, blimey. Look, the technology is there definitely, and these are fantastic machines to ride. But 22 grand. Do you know what's really good actually about Honda is that they're not just trying to pawn off the the big sports bikes. They're actually coming out, with a little monkey bikes here as well. They're actually showing the whole range of what, anybody can have. There we go, the Honda stand, the Africa Twin. That's a very capable bike. Come back onto the scene, really nice. £14,000 though. But actually, in comparable terms, is not a bad price really. For the big adventures, the big adventure bikes. It's a good looking bike as well. Right next to my Honda, you've got Peugeot motorcycles as well, which, depending on where you are, these are probably going to be the best bikes for you. If you're right in the middle of the town, urban riding, especially, great little bikes. Right, so right in the centre of the stand here, the Honda stand. Got one of their cars here as well. But look, some of this. Kind of really retro styling of these things. Over the last few years, the retro look, not only in the bikes, but also everything surrounding motorcycling, has had a massive influence. And what's happening in the whole motorcycle world, I think, from my point of view, is that lots of styles, lots of cultures have all kind of meshed in together. So you're, like a sports bike is influenced by a bit of vintage racing, and then you've got a lifestyle influence as well. That's a nice bike. That's really great bike, that one. Yeah, the 450 Rally, using the last year's Dakar. And Honda have always made good off-road bikes actually. Whether you're in the motocross, the CRs from years ago, or the motocrossers, the enduro style, but there's some good bikes out there. Ah, look at this RC213V, nice. Okay, look, the Honda Cub, probably one of the best bikes ever made. Don't believe me? 50 odd million around the world sold, can't be wrong. And that thing will go anywhere, believe me. I've taken them everywhere, and it will go everywhere. Oh, Montesa, lovely. 50-year anniversary. I grew up on trials. Nice. Look at the size of that front wheel as well. That just roll over anything. It's 450 Rally. Yeah, it's a real beaut, that is. Oh, you got to look at the travel here. Amazing. Not sure about this. Not sure about this though. It's carbon fibre underneath, but I don't know, not too sure about it. The thing is, you're looking at these off-road bikes here, and they're sort of 450 cc's, enduro bikes, they're 8-9 grand. Are they worth it? You get what you pay for. That's essentially it. You're paying for the suspension, the technology, and my opinion is you can take any bike anywhere within reason. But this kind of, for that money, what you're paying for is a bike that can get you over the rough stuff really quickly, and it'll take a big pounding. Ah, the Kymco range. There's some good bikes, Kymco, actually. This year there seems to be a much better layout to the stalls as well. They're not all sort of in one area, they're sort of spread out. The next generation at play. As far as this show, I'm really looking for new tech as well. New tech that can help the rider. Really interested in the electric bikes, interested in the off-road bikes, of course. Anything that can help me as a rider will help what I do. That's what I'm really looking for. Let's see what we got. So a lot of obviously the adventure riding has become a massive market now, and foreign destinations too. It's a nice little stand. Classic feature. Yeah. Not the old British bikes. BSA's, Triumphs, Nortons. 1987 Norton prototype here. And 75 Triumph prototype. Oh, look at that. A Hesketh. Now that is a beautiful bike. That's a 1989 prototype. The Hesketh Vortan. It's 1000cc. Nice. Oh, Norton NRV. Steve McQueen replica. 1961 Triumph. T110. 650cc. Beauty. Look at this Enfield. Royal Enfield 3. Wow. It's like a bloody steam engine. 1915. That's a beautiful old Triumph, isn't it? It's a 1945 Triumph. 3TU, 350cc. That's beautifully restored. That's some great bikes here. This is a Greaves. And this is a Marsh. Nice bike. All prototypes. All classic bikes. Amazing. Right. I think it's time I got a coffee. Right, so just popped over to the Much Good See stand. Come and have a look at this V85 TT. Much Goods has always been quite angular, haven't they? And their engines are, you know, a little bit wide. However, they're actually narrow at the bottom and wide at the top. The only problem is, you know, those exhausts do come out the bottom, so you've got the bash plate there that will protect it. I'm just wondering for serious off-road whether they're gonna, I don't think that's gonna work very well. But the high mudguard at the front is good. It's a nice looking bike actually. I am a bit of a Moto Guzzi fan, although I've never actually owned one. Look at this V7, nice. There's just a certain style about Guzzis which I've always liked. V7s, V11s. They're all, see, all the manufacturers are getting, you know, cross styles now. Yeah, they're all doing bobbers, they're all doing adventure bikes, they're all doing sports bikes of sorts. You know, every manufacturer wants a bit of the action, don't they? Yeah, I kind of like this V7 here, this matte red paint job. Aprilia, always good bike, good race bikes, good off-road bikes as well. Dorso Doro here, that's a nice bike. 990cc, nice. Over here now, the aerial stand. Some of their old classic bikes from the 30s and 40s. Beautiful. And obviously the aerial, Atom and Nomad. They're four-wheel incarnations now. And also the new bikes. That really does look like a Confederate over there to me. Yeah, the aerial Ace here with that girder front end. Nice, nice looking bikes. Not sure, you know, not sure for me though, you know what I mean? I've always been a bit dubious of the Africa Twin, actually, but actually the more I think about it, the more I like them. They're actually really capable as well. You just load them up and, you know, go off on your adventures, whatever you want to do, you know? Just moving on to the Kawasaki stand. They make great bikes. Both on and off. Ninja bikes, sports bike, fantastic. A bit wobbly. But the off-road bikes, brilliant. Really good. Motocross bikes, enduro bikes. Right to the CCM bikes, British brand. Actually, they've really come on the last few years, actually, CCM. Some really nice bikes. Small engines or smaller engines. Sort of compact bikes. Nice styling as well. And they're all going for this sort of bobber look as well. So popular. This is a Spitfire. It's sort of 600cc, so they're no slouches. They do look nice. As you'd imagine, the big manufacturers got big stands. Kawasaki, Honda, a bit further over. Triumph, become a massive player these days. Yeah, the Tourer, the Versus Tourer, 1000cc. That's a good bike actually. Not my kind of thing, but it's a good bike. if you want to go on your grand tour, it's got a good upright seating position, riding position I should say. It's a Ninja H2. There you go, the Ninja, Kawasaki Ninja H2. That's a lovely looking bike. Do you know, actually it would fit a lot bigger, taller guy rider as well. Not bad, but it's still, you're going to be heavy on the wrists there. Here we are on the Triumph stand. Oh, it's got a great bike, Triumph. And I suppose they're the, you know, the kind of front runners in mixing styles, I should say. Mixing their styles up. And everybody seems to have copied. Maybe that's not 100% accurate, but you know what I mean. You know, they've had the sportive bikes, they've had the kind of lifestyle bikes, like, you know, Harley. Obviously the Scrambler, the kind of the throwback to the old British bikes as well. Here, this is the new Scrambler 1200. Now, I've heard really good things about this Scrambler, but I'll tell you what, it looks great, but not for me. I think that's just way too heavy for the Scrambler type of bike that you need. Not saying it's not capable, I'm just saying it's just like my Triumph Explorer, that is going to be really heavy, real handful. It's not an adventure bike, it's not a street bike, it's kind of trying to be a bit of everything. And that's the thing. Triumph Tiger 1200, these are great. See, I had the same problem with mine the other day, you know, with the front mudguard not being too close to the tyre. So if you get off-road tyres on there, enduro tyres, get clogged up with mud. But they do look smart, I gotta say. It's a nice stand Triumph as well. I say they're the only brand that has really challenged Harley for that kind of bike and lifestyle type combination. You know, with the clothing, with the bikes, the different styles of bikes. Norton. Oh, let's go and have a look at here. Yeah, another brand that's come back and getting better and better year in, year out. Just look at that beauty. Obviously pushing the bikes out on the TT course every year, getting better year in, year out as well. Oh, the V4RR. Look at this. Wow, that is a smart looking bike. I'll let somebody else polish that though. It's weird, isn't it? You know, because Nortons and Triumphs, you know, they had that sort of rivalry, I suppose, years ago. And Norton came back, and they're no way near as advanced as in diversity as Triumph. But some of their bikes are really nice. So the 961 Sport. So, you know, they're just making variations off the same bike, really. I wonder if they've got the Henry Cole variants here. Right, Norton Dominator. Beauty. Here we go, coming off the Norton stand, and the new Atlas models as well. Nomad and the Ranger. I mean, the Ranger, that's the one who's going to be more capable than anything else. And this is basically, the Nomad is just a street bike, really. That Ranger, that's got a bit more off-road capability. It's got engine bash plate at the bottom, kind of, bit of a grille there, higher mudguard at the front. I mean, no doubt it'll get you onto tracks and trails. Is it really the kind of bike you want to take off-road? But nice looking bike. Oh, the Superlight. That is a nice bike. Carbon fibre. Ducati. Got the Diavol 1260. I think Ducati were ahead of their time really when they bought out the Diavol. It's an odd looking bike, very futuristic. It's almost like a Robocop style bike, but they bought that out and then other manufacturers started to copy the style, cut off tail, the bobberish look, but you know, more regged out. Probably not Robocop, more Judge Dredd. Yeah, more Judge Dredd, I think. I'll say Ducatis are great bikes, there's no doubt. Just not for me. Do you know what I mean? It's odd. Okay, so this is the Ducati Testa Stretta. Kind of a smaller variation from the Multistrada, really. Nice looking bike, but again, not really for me. Then you got the Multistrada. Multistrada here we got like the 1260 Enduro as well. Look, they're a very capable bike, and in the off-road mode, it'd be absolutely fine. But you got so much power there, so much power that you really don't need it. I mean, I don't know. You have to convince me that you really do need that power for off-road riding. And the bash plate looks a bit flimsy to me. They're big, heavy bikes. I ride a big, heavy bike off-road in the Triumph, but that just looks too heavy. And retail, you know, the Enduro sand is just a few quid shy of £18,000. That's a lot. Yeah, these hypermotard, you know, bikes, they are hooligan bikes, aren't they, for the street? Got Ducati bikes, great, aren't they? Great flair, great speed, attract a lot of attention. But I don't know, they always lack something, always lack that certain spark. I suppose I always consider Ducatis to be temperamental, a bit temperamental like all Italian manufacturers. So this is what I like as well about the show. You get Ducati on one side of the lane, and then you get Herald Motor Company on the other. Just smaller manufacturers, just with their bikes. And this is great. It's a much bigger show now, much bigger presence from the smaller brands, the British brands now. Looking good. It's looking good. And there are some nice bikes as well. You know, 400cc Cafe. I do find it funny that you know, a lot of these manufacturers now are kind of all going for this really cool stand look, you know, a bit of corrugated iron. Oh, and here we are, the masters of them all. It's Harley Davidson. Let's see what they've got on offer, shall we? Do you know, Harley are one of those brands, you either like them or you don't. And I've got to say, most of their bikes, oh, Harley people, don't hate me, I don't really like them. However, there are a couple that I really like, so much so, it could be one of my next bikes. I wonder if you can tell which it is. See, soft tails now. Okay, they're all going for this sort of Judge Dredd sort of styling. You know what I mean about the Diavo as well, you know, the Ducati. They kind of started it, and now, you know, it's all kind of morphed into one. I think I might have to sit down. Do you know, there is one thing that I would say about this show, that it's really spread out really well. There's a mix between the big manufacturers and the small manufacturers, and there's a good vibe about it, it's a good flow. But in previous years there didn't seem to be much of a flow, so I'm really impressed with this motorcycle live. Don't know what's going on there. We'll say a bit about Harley. Notice a few of their bikes are actually quite angular. The tanks are quite angular as well. See, this is what I mean about Harley, you know, the stand. They've got a whole vibe going here. You know, you get the hipster barber, you know, in the middle of their stand. There we go, table football in the middle of a Harley stand. See, they just do it. I mean, here's the thing about Harley, you buy a Harley and then you just start customising it straight away, don't you? And here is exactly that. Custom bike build off here. This is where the business is at. Trade stall after trade stall after trade stall. Selling wares, good stuff as well. Bit of Backstreet Heroes. Go and have a look and see what their stand is. Yeah, it's at the BSH stand. They've got a few custom bikes, you know, they're the #1 custom bike magazine in the UK, I suppose. Well, they are. That's some great bikes here. So what I like about it, you know, custom bikes are not necessarily my kind of thing. However, I'm always really impressed by, you know, the engineering, the talent that's out there that, you know, they build these bikes. And they build these bikes in their sheds, really, a lot of the time. I mean, some of them are just completely unrideable, you would have thought. Look great, look great. I mean, just look at this thing. Actually very similar to the bike I built. I stole my idea. I think it's BSH. There isn't a lot that they can offer, really, in terms of this show, this event. They sell bike magazines. Yeah, that's what they're about. So obviously they got a nice display of custom bikes here, but effectively they're just selling magazines and they're selling, you know, apparel. Possibly could have done a bit more with that stand, but who am I to say? Always been impressed by Yamaha as a brand ever since I was a kid as well. It was Suzuki and Yamaha. Always thought they were really good. These off-road bikes are really good. I remember I had a Yamaha 250cc Scrambler. That was an awesome bike. And that jumped everything. That went over everything. And we're talking back in the day as well. Really great bikes. And obviously their sports bikes are fantastic as well. So again, all these bikes, all these manufacturers, you know, harping back to a bit of the heritage, the old styling, the heritage styling as well. And with a new XSR 700 sort of Scrambler style, but you know, they're also making a big play on the fact that it's the old XT 500, which is really what it's mimicking or really harping back to. Do you know what? Yamaha did really well back in the day, the 80s, you know, with the sort of XJ and, you know, that kind of bike, you know, that muscle bike, that naked muscle bike. And that's what I really liked about them. Then they went into that touring mode with that kind of the FJ. And you know, they came back with those bikes as well. They were really good. Now here's what I'm looking at. 10s, the Super Teneres. Nice, look at this. Tenere 700, the lightweight variant. Might even be better. The Super Tenere right there. And then you got the XT Super 10. Got to say, they're not the nicest looking bikes, but they're fantastic to ride. Fantastic. I'm like, you know, this is what the Super 10 was back in the day. Now that was a great bike. And that twin headlight arrangement, really great bike. You know, in terms of all these bikes, they actually go everywhere. I just don't like the styling of them that much, I got to say, but overall they're brilliant. So this arrangement here, I always sort of baffled me. Well, I thought they could have made that a little bit neater, the engine guards. See that engine guard there, you know, it's not really going to protect anything here as well. You want something a bit more sturdier. Yeah, the Yamaha stand is very business-like, you know. All the bikes are there, massive stand, but it just lacks a little creativity, I think. Complete contrast to Harley and Triumph and maybe even Honda. A little bit samey, a little bit nothing to get the juices going on this one. Well, I suppose the bikes speak for themselves. So is this the future then? Definitely is, isn't it? That's the way it's going. The concept. It's ARC. Electric bikes. Yeah. Oh, look at that sort of front suspension arrangement. It's almost like Britain-esque, isn't it, really? The Vector. The Vector. Wow, what a name. It looks like a cockroach or something. There's something insect-like about it. Right, just made my way over to the adventure section here, and it's lunchtime, so it's all closed. But they've got an off-road track here. Lots of experience stalls all over, you know, going for the off-road riding adventure or on-road riding adventure anywhere in the world, pretty much. Australia, New Zealand, all parts of the United States. Even doing it over here as well, would you believe? But not a lot of action here, so we'll move on. Right, so I made my way over to Hall 2 now, alongside the BMW stand. As you can imagine, a big display they're putting on with all their bikes, with their GS over here, GS 1250R. Oh, it seems a lot smaller than it was a couple of years ago. BMW have always been really good with their engineering. Again, just like the Triumph, really, very capable, but very heavy for the off-road world. I mean, you are definitely working hard when you're riding these big adventure bikes, that's for sure. That 1250 RHP, with some knobblies on there as well. Yeah, they got the engine bar, the engine protector bars well sorted on the BMW. I'll give them that. That is good. That's a nice looking bike, actually. Great range on the tanks as well, the extended tank range, but wide, really wide. As I say, really capable, the bikes, but it's all kind of flat tracking stuff, you know, and it is, you know, it's flat tracking stuff, and it's not really in the ruts either. You start putting this in the ruts, then it becomes a bit of a real handful. You know, slippery, slimy, muddy stuff, off camber, in the ruts. You know, doing some serious off-road with them, they really do struggle. Yeah, you can do it, and I do it as well on mine, but, you know, let's not be fooled by, you know, how great a rider he is and also how great a bike is, you know, in optimal conditions. You know what I mean? Alright, here we are at Suzuki. One of the bikes I've really wanted to see this whole show is the Revamped Katana. Just going to see what it's like. TT, one of my favourite races of the year. Love it. Grew up on Suzuki bikes as well. I grew up on Kawasaki's, Yamahas, all of them. But yeah, some Suzuki off-road bikes. Some great bikes back in the day. Some great bikes now. Yeah, that's the lean angle of that bike. You can see some of the older models on display as well. Oh, the old kettle. Look at that, what called 750. You see. Now that is nice. TR750, lovely, beautiful. Oh, GSXR, yeah, 1000R. Nice. Right, enough nostalgia. Let's get onto the Katana. GSX Rangers, GSXR Ranger. I mean, look, the GSXR, you know, 1000, the 750, fantastic sports bike. Possibly the 750, much better bike on the track for your average rider, I would say. Here we go. This is the bike, as a boy, I was in love with. I was in love. I had posters of this on my wall. Oh, look at that. That is the GSX 1100S Katana, 1982. What a bike. What a bike. That was lovely. Look at that. A friend of mine had one of those and he just loved it. Absolutely loved it. Brilliant bike. Beautifully restored, that one as well. Really nice. It's amazing seeing this, you almost get emotional. You know, I remember being a 12-year-old boy, sat on one of those in a showroom when it first came out. You know, so advanced for its day. Brilliant bike, brilliant styling. And now we've got the new Katana. There's a bit of a nod to the old bike. And here we got the grey. And again, more of a nod to the old bike. Decals, very similar. Colouring, obviously very similar. But that's about it. You know, still the kind of Judge Dredd front end look that a lot of the modern bikes are going for. I can't bring myself to love it. I can't do it. I like it, but I don't love it. It looks amazing. I mean, it is, you know, the flat tracker bars. You know, it's meaty, it's very Diavel look. You know, they're all kind of taking chunks out of each other in terms of design and style. This was the bike that I really wanted to see. And this is the bike that I really wanted to come to this show to see up close. Let me have a wider look here. Do you know what? It's a bike that I think will grow on me in time. It's not necessarily a bike that I really want now, or I think because I love the original so much as a bike, that this is a bit sacrilegious to me. It's almost I should have left it alone and just kept that bike. But now they've done it, it's a different type of bike for a different type of rider. That in the day was kind of a speed bike. This is more of a street speed. You know, you're sat upright. You're not lunged forward as well. As I say, it'll probably grow on me, but it's not necessarily. I'm not loving it right now. So I come over to the adventure section of the Suzuki stand, and you know what? I've always actually been a bit of a fan of this Suzuki bike, this V-Strom. It's a good bike. It's got a smaller brother and a bigger brother. This is a 1000 XT. Good engine bar protection, good engine bash plate as well. Good. Front mudguard is a bit tight. But overall, that's a good bike, and that'll pretty much go everywhere. You know, we all get carried away with the Triumphs, the BMWs, the KTMs in this world, but actually that bike is a good bike. And it'll go anywhere as well. Guess where I'm going? KTM it is. Now if you like your bike orange, KTM is a place to go to. Yes, the Austrians still doing great stuff in the off-road world. Also doing pretty good in the on-road world as well, with their sports bikes, their big adventure bikes. Actually coming down in size as well, right throughout the ranges, the engine sizes and the types of bike. Really good. KTM very much moved away from the pure off-road market. Now they are a multi-purpose, lots of diversity in their ride. I've never liked that headlight though. Oh dear. Some people love it, I actually detest it. But in terms of a bike, that is a good bike. Great bikes these are. The adventure bikes, nice. Oh, this is a super adventure here. That's good. Again, you know, the big adventure bikes, you know, they will get you everywhere, they will go everywhere, but they're just really hard work. They're really heavy. Stick a set of off-roadies, you know, enduro tyres on it. As a multi-purpose tourer, off-road capable, yeah, absolutely, fantastic. You've got to ask yourself, which is the best one? You know, the Triumph, the BMW, the KTM, Suzuki, whatever, the big adventure bikes, which is the best one? My take on it is that they're all pretty much the same. You know, if you get into the serious stuff, they can do it, but it's hard work. So now this is where KTM into their own in the motocross world, off-road world, the Dakar. I mean, how many Dakars have KTM won? Amazing record. This enduro style that's come out the last few years, you know, with a flat seat. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I like a bit of a, you know, a dip in there. I like to actually sit myself instead of being sat on the bike and just being able to slide forwards. You know, I like to be able to dip myself in there on the seat. But at the same time, you kind of want that so you can easily float over the bike and let the bike, you know, have room to maneuver beneath you. Thing is, you know, you look at these bikes, the KTMs and, you know, these higher bikes, and you think, well, okay, how much are you going to pay for them? Well, you're going to pay what they're worth, I think. Yeah, they're all expensive. Bikes are expensive anyway. And you can get really cheap off-road capable bikes. Of course you can. But you're paying for the engineering, you're paying for the excellence, and you're paying for what they're capable at doing at speed. I mean, you can get a cheap, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 grand bike, brand new that is, and you'll go over a couple of jumps and you'll start breaking stuff really easily. Whereas with these sort of bikes, they're built to last, rock solid. Yeah, that is the electric bike. I thought it was. In the last X Games, actually, they had, I can't remember if it was a KTM, but anyway, in the freestyle motocross tournaments, a couple of the riders were actually riding the electric bikes. I think it's the first time they actually used them in competition and did well. They're not, you know, you'd think, you know, a battery-powered bike is going to be really heavy with a battery, but actually not so. Obviously, you've got a range issue with these sorts of bikes, but look at that. Just imagine riding that. Easy peasy. You'll float over the dirt, over the ruts with that Husqvarna. Always a great bike as well. Another great bike as well. Funny, interesting, strategically positioned right next to KTM as well. But these are great bikes. Again, Huskies. Yeah, anyway, they are a bit of a favourite in the off-road world actually. You know, you will get, the thing is, you know, they are expensive, but they're really powerful. And these will get you over the dirt really nicely. Nice little stand from Husky as well. You know, not over the top, not garish, just basically the same. Here's our bikes, have a look. There you go. So that's quite a good look there. Look, going up through the sizes. Right, so they just opened up the adventure track and give people the experience of going around on the dirt, just either on a scrambler or on a Triumph Tiger 800. It's actually all pretty hard compacted stuff, so not really that much of a challenge, which really, in all fairness, it shouldn't be for this kind of an event. You don't want people falling off the bikes and hurting themselves all the time. It's good that they actually got something like this, you know, at this kind of event, because you can actually get people who've never actually been on the dirt and never even ridden, you know, kind of adventure style bikes, let's say, and it just gives them a little idea of what it's about. Big marketing ploy, of course it is. You know, you got Hondas and Triumphs there. They're sponsoring the adventure experience here at Motorcycle Live, so you know, going over a bit of the rough stuff. It's actually quite smooth there, the 800. That's a great, I mean, they're good little bikes actually, the 800. I had one in Italy recently, and in the mountains there, you know, they're light enough and they're smaller than the Explorer, and but they're still really capable, you know. Honda will join the party as well now, with an Africa Twin. That's a good little bike actually. Yeah, off-road is nice. So just did a VR ride of the ARC motorcycle, electric motorcycle. You know, it's all great really. You know, it's the future, isn't it? You know, electric motorcycle, fully compatible helmets. So you've got a rear view, all the alerts. You know, head-up display. You know, it's wow, impressive. Very Tron-like though. It's going to take a while to get used to that, I think. So this is up for pre-order right now. The ARC. 90 grand, I believe 200 kilometers an hour it'll do. Various modes, sports mode. I mean, look at it. I see Vector. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely the future. Nice little stand here from Yamaha, the race bikes. Rainbow. The Black Horse stage.
The Dunlop competition, where the winner today will end
Steve Paris on stage right now doing his bit.
Courtesy of Dunlop. A bit of an explanation. If you get over a minute,
lots of motorcycling elite.
It starts getting hot, it starts burning.
See these celebs appearing on here over the week.
It nearly. He had a proper gym. Is he your best customer? He is. Okay, well done.
Always love a bit of good art. Wow, artists at work here. Yeah, Kawasaki with their Versys model adventure bike. Actually, again, just like the V-Strom of the Suzuki. Quite a capable bike, actually. Really good. Always like the Kawasaki stand, I must say. You know, on the face of it, they're exactly the same as the you know, the other big four. But there's just something about the Kawasaki stand that has always impressed me. Kawasaki have always had a bit of devil-may-care attitude about them for me. Yeah, they're ninja bikes, they're sports bikes. They're always, you know, you're a bit on the ragged edge with those. They're fantastic bikes. And I still say that the ZZR 1400 that I used to have was the best bike I've ever had so far to date. So overall impressions of Motorcycle Live 2018 from the NEC. Very good, very good. There's a good flow about it. There's a good mix of the big brands and the smaller manufacturers as well. And let's say there's a nice flow about the show. The bikes, there's always a mixture of bikes, but you kind of feel that they're all the manufacturers, even the small ones, they're all going after the same piece of the pie. The ideas are very much they're similar, they're not the same. They're all gaining inspiration off each other. I don't know what it is about the front ends of a lot of the bikes this year, or the new models. They're very Judge Dredd, you know, very much that kind of slanting headlight. Not so sure it's my style, but there you go. But overall, the show's been really good. I say, lots to do in the little trade sections as well. Really good. Anyway, I'm going to have a little walk around and see what else I can find. Fantastic art here by Steve Wyman. Amazing. Check them out at stevewyman.com. Back at the Crazy Horse stand, and just can't help but admire some of the creations here. Particularly like this Zero Engineering bike here. Nice. Got a 1200 Evo engine, Sportster engine on it. Lovely. Sportster engines make just perfect engine for, you know, chop bikes as well. Really nice. Look at that one. Beauty. Again, that's got a 1340 Evo engine in it. I was really impressed with the Crazy Horse stand last time I was here. And do you know what? I'm impressed with them again. You know, for a relatively small outfit in comparative terms, you know, to the big manufacturers, they got a big display, great bikes. They appeal to, you know, the custom bike scene, but they're also somebody who wants something that goes and works and functions, but they're not just, you know, your Harleys. You know, they've got a wide range of bikes, wide range of work, really good. Alright, so been all around and had a really good time actually. Lots of great bikes here, lots of great trade stands. Yeah, kudos to Motorcycle Live 2018, did a great job, much improved experience, much better flow, some great looking bikes. Not too sure about the new designs, concepts about a lot of them, but all in all, really good. Right, catch you on the next video, whenever that is. Cheers now. Convoy here.